Summer-like weather for the Ohio State spring game in Columbus. Doesn't matter the season. There are always a lot of eyeballs on this program. There's a quarterback battle in Columbus. We've got the Scarlet and Gray game for you right now on the Big Ten Network. Expected on hand for a scrimmage.
You know, it's a big deal here, obviously, to get in for $7, but to get the first look at the new Buckeyes, I think is important for a lot of fans.
There is the kickoff here as we're underway in the Ohio State spring game. The Scarlet versus the Gray. And McCord throws incomplete in the direction of Marvin Harrison Jr.
And that was
touchdowns. Pretty good debut from under center. The handoff to Mayan Williams. And especially as we get going here in maybe...
It's like they're about 5 deep right now.
Marvin Harrison Jr. in motion on third down. 3 points on the line for the Ohio State defense if they can force a 3 and out. And they do. A big pass breakup there from C.J. Hicks.
Now, C.J. Hicks is one of these players that people are going to be extremely...
Rugby-style punt there from Jesse Mirko. And the punt is caught by Jaden Ballard. Also part of that really deep wide receiver to the right. And Hayden stays on his feet through initial contact at the line of scrimmage and picks up about 3.
It's a really good play from the running back position. Dallin Hayden, a guy who really...
Gebbia throws, and the pass is hauled in. Impressive grab by Kyon Grays after he initially Scarlet's first down of the spring game with the number 2 unit on the field. Here's Hayden catching the ball out of the backfield and brought down at the 40.
And I think for Dallin Hayden in his trajectory overall as a player, catching the...
Second down, and Hayden puts his nose into the pile and is pushed back at the point of contact. Gabe Powers in the mix. Here's a third down. Gebbia hands it off to Hayden, who slips through and gets dragged down about 1.5 yards shy of the first down marker. Fourth down and short, and Hayden did not get the first down. Plenty of gray jerseys up front, including Powers, number 36, dealing with bumps and bruises over the course of the spring practice season. Now Gebbia, and he overthrows his intended target, Kojo Antwi.
Play, just like it happened right there.
So on second down, Chip Trainum is in the backfield, and the throw goes to Antwi. It's juggled and caught at midfield. Day and Brian Hartline are both on the field right now, calling plays in the huddle. Here's Gebbia on third down, and he got his signals crossed there with Caleb Brown, number 13.
Are really good at what they do.
Mirko the punt, and Brown makes the catch just across the 5-yard line. Jersey, third season in the program. And Mayan Williams, who in particular, you know, he might as well be wearing a black jersey as well. You know, he's dealing with some...
And playing his technique, but when it's time to trigger, he's a guy that can go.
There's Mayan Williams, stood up after a gain of about 1 yard.
What he was when he was banged up, and so I think health is going to be first and foremost for him. We obviously talked about Mayan Williams and the size that he has. We would talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. when we get to the wide receivers here, because this guy is absolutely phenomenal.
McCord moves the pocket and throws it away. He was pressured almost instantly by Cody Simon out of the defensive backfield. It's second down. There is G. Scott Jr., the tight end, who rumbles his way up the sideline. G. Scott, one of the players that head coach Ryan Day said had a really good to work. McCord flips it, and it's caught underneath to Marvin Harrison Jr. That's good for a first down for the Scarlet.
Said I had to tell him to stop. There were some points in the offseason where I said, you can't train this much. All he wants to do is grind, and this is the reason why.
There he is again on the crossing route. You know, they are trying to build his route tree, Joshua. They're not lining him up on the outside as much as they did during the regular season last year.
And it's a good thing for Marv because that versatility is going to come into play when he gets to the league. Now, you see him on a deep over route right there, and just the tempo of the route to be able to get over the second level, stay under the third level, really good job. Always focused when he's catching the football because he's trying to take that next step.
Brooke Fletcher's got a little bit more on Marvin Harrison Jr. as that's through the hands of Cade Stover, incomplete. Go ahead, Brooke.
Yeah, JP, you were talking about just his work ethic, right? And with that mentality, he's always looking for ways.
The explosive types of players that organizations are looking for, and Marv has been great when it comes to contested catches, and he's been great when it comes to, you know, kind of moving the chains. But when you're talking about those real...
What the greats do. Third down for McCord, and that's broken up, intended for Carnell Tate. That's Burke.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what we want balls. They said they have more tip balls this spring than they did a year ago, and that shows the improvement that they're looking for.
That field goal is no good from Jaden Fielding. Glorious afternoon in Columbus. Here's Chip Trainum with his first carry of the spring game. Trainum part of that running back room, Joshua. He turned out of the backfield again. And Tristan Gebbia throws his way, and the pass is caught by Trainum at midfield.
The nose and how the game works, and with the two guys that are competing at the top for this quarterback spot, he's been somebody who's been able to provide great perspective and keep pushing both of them in that room.
Here's Trainum, who slips his way to the 40-yard line, and to Joshua's point, Brooke, you can add to that?
Team, guys.
First down for Gebbia at the controls. Looked like he was going to take a shot. Now he runs, and the play promptly blown dead.
You know, the defense likes the physical standpoint.
And has had a good spring practice as well, putting it together on the field. Gebbia, they let the play run this time, and as Gebbia angles his way toward the out-of-bounds line.
That he likes to run. Now these guys have a baseline. They have an understanding of what the defense is supposed to look like and where the pieces fit in. And now it's more about competing than about just trying to know where you're supposed to be.
Gebbia has either tried to run or has broken the pocket 3 straight plays now. That you and Brooke talked about. Ryan Day's so excited to kind of add that wrinkle to Ohio State this season. Train him on the carry, and he's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage by Jack Sawyer.
Now, Jack Sawyer is a guy that I think a lot of people have
tried to put him in that hybrid role of defensive end linebacker. There's Trainum brought down just shy of the 20-yard line, but going to take a little bit off his plate. Just Gebbia on the crossing route. Pass hauled in by Caleb Brown, and a swift tackle by Ryan Turner, the cornerback. Ohio State tries its second field goal attempt of the day, and this one is good, a 38-yard try. All-American wide receiver in Ohio State program history. Dallin Hayden with a full head of speed, full head of steam across the line of scrimmage. He picks up a couple, and it's second down.
A lot of folks are excited to see what this new chapter looks like.
Kyle McCord at the controls, and Ohio State's defense is going to want to sack for
honored for All-American award last year. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge honor. You know, I think it's just like recognizing some of the greats, but at the same time, I mean, I've played for good quarterbacks, but going against guys like Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa, those type of guys, I've been waiting for that, you know, since I was a kid. You know what I mean? So to play against those guys and meet some of those guys, dreams be the ultimate left tackle, ultimate right tackle in one day. You know, to think it's okay that things are going to be a slow process as long as they have that fight to keep going, you know?
Words of wisdom from Paris Johnson, guys. Paris, we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Back to you.
playbook than they typically would in the fall, but you can see how much that's paying off defensively because these guys are able to really just play fast. You're seeing a lot of contested throws. You're seeing guys crowd the line of scrimmage and
get a little bit older, get to that veteran status. This becomes, you know, the shine wears off a little bit. That pass caught by Kojo Antwi.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Jesse Mirko, the punt. Jaden Ballard signals for the fair catch. Position, McCord and Brown. Brown underwent a minor procedure on a finger on his throwing hand. It's not expected to even hold him back from summer workouts. So it's
the starting quarterback might get 6 of them. The backup quarterback may only get 3. They might not get any at all. And so there's a deficit in reps that they're trying to make up for both of these guys. And I think that
McCord airs it out, looking for Ballard, and the pass incomplete.
So you got Denzel Burke there, drop moral support from the bench area.
On first down, here's Chip Trainum. Trainum tried to tiptoe his way through the line, but eventually was wrapped up by Hero Kanu. Trainum stacked up, and there's a player we've called out already on the defensive line. That's another third down for the offense. Over the middle. Pass is hauled in. Noah Rogers with his first catch of the day. Defenses look good, though.
Yes, the defense has looked good. Again, I've been saying it. The offense is not really opening up their playbook right now. I don't think that there's a little feeling out, and then all of a sudden it all clicks.
McCord escapes the pocket and was touched down by Caden Curry.
Really spotlighted quite yet is Michael Hall Jr. And there he is right there. He was first to get to the ball on that play. He was a terror last year for opposing offenses. I mean, this is crazy, but the thing that I think he has to work on is the consistency to his game, because you'd see him have a big game, and then in other games you'd ask the question, what more?
Here's McCord on fourth down. Pass is caught by Caleb Brown, and he has a first down for the offense. With skill, but can you sustain that on an 8, 9, 10 play drive? Can you sustain that into the fourth quarter of a game? It's not just about the first quarter, as that's a catch and an impressive one by Jaden Ballard.
In football.
Second and short, here's Dallin Hayden, and he's hit by Sawyer, the defensive end.
You know, to get back to the defensive front, as you were saying, Jim Knowles is spot on with that.
Ohio State brings up second down. McCord on the pitch to Hayden. Hayden tripped up. A fine play by Cody Simon.
Not something we had typically seen with C.J. Stroud with his preferred skill set. He was a true pocket passer, and I think Devin Brown is certainly a guy who's known as more of the runner out of the two, but closer to the line of scrimmage, because C.J. Stroud, not necessarily a runner, you can get the advantage in the box count.
Second down, and Trainum very early in that run ran into Ty Hamilton. It's McCord looking for the tight end Royer, and it's incomplete.
No, a lot of folks inside the Woody are excited about Royer and what he can.
Might even see some 13 personnel, 3 tight ends on the field. Everything goes right. McCord to the end zone looking for Tate, the freshman, incomplete. He's covered by Jair Brown. Tate just a freshman again. Coaching staff has been so impressed with his maturity.
What I was told about Carnell Tate is that as a guy who had only been on campus.
It's first down. Jebbia, the quarterback, and he throws wide of his intended target, Kyon Grays. This is very much a work in progress at this point in the calendar year.
Coaches see the spring
Trainum
game
with the longest play of the day by far for the Ohio State offense. And their first touchdown of the spring game. Chip Trainum. There we go.
No, the offense is going to be happy. The defensive staff on the other sideline is jumping up and down, ranting and raving right now. And this was something we saw late in the season from the Ohio State defense. You see a guy come underneath a block that's probably supposed to make it over the top. You're not filling the gaps properly. And all it takes is one. And you get these explosive long runs just from how aggressive this defense is. And so these guys are going to put that one up on the tape all summer long and say, this is what we cannot have again. Trainum showing off some wheels, though. And again, like I said, he's a guy that I think can be a really good piece for this offense.
Max forcing a punt. McCord to Hayden, the running back, and he's cut down on the play. Brings up. Hayden on the ground, picks up a first down.
One of the things about Dallin Hayden that I really liked.
Still in the backfield on first down. McCord dirts it. And pressure pretty quickly from Jaden McKenzie on the play. McCord moves out and picks up about a yard. That is one of the areas of his game he wanted to train in the
field. And so for Kyle McCord right now, understanding that while you're in the midst of this competition could become a separator.
Incomplete over the middle. Jelani Thurman, number 15, a mammoth tight end, was the intent.
Another one of those freshmen, early enrollees, coming in right away, ready to compete for a job.
It's another point for the defense on the forced punt as we're into the final minute of the second quarter.
Wide open spread offense over there now, and of course you've got that game in Ann Arbor that a lot of people have circled on their calendars right now.
Trainum tripped at the 40-yard line.
It was a really good play. You know, Trainum feels like performing really well in this game today.
Especially coming off a long touchdown run on his last drive. Pass to the sticks is caught for a first down. Noah Rogers.
And so situational work to me is always valuable, and when you can get it out here in front of a crowd, I think it even increases that value.
Jebbia in trouble and sacked, if you will. Hiro Kanu, the defensive tackle who's been involved on a couple of backfield pressures now. And some more points for the defense going into the locker room at halftime. One